You bring up pay. It would have been very easy for you to make your money, get paid, worry about you. You know, I think since your second fight, you've taken on someone from your world, Dana White, talked about UFC, the gap in pay. Why has that been such an important cause for you to take up?
Yeah, for me, it's about changing combat sports in general. You know, that's what I've always been passionate about doing since I came in, and helping women's boxing and my foundation, Boxing Bullies, which helps kids get involved in the sport early. But then the fighter pay side of it, I've just seen how people and fighters are getting taken advantage of. You know, this is the most dangerous sport in the world, and the UFC, you know, makes billions of dollars a year, and they're only paying their fighters 15% of that. You know, Ari Emanuel, the CEO of Endeavor, you know, his salary last year was more than the entire UFC roster. So these fighters are risking their lives for $10,000. There's no long-term health care. So for me, I just saw it as a problem, and I am one of the people who can use my platform to speak up about it, because a lot of fighters in the UFC are scared to say something because Dana can just shelf them. So I'm one of the very few people who doesn't need Dana necessarily. And yeah, I started talking about it, and it just got a ton of momentum, and I was like, yeah, like, okay, I'm gonna continue to talk about this, and now more and more people are speaking up, so it sort of started this revolution, and Francis is one of the people.
Yay!
But Francis, what gives you the courage to stand up? Why do you have because you've stood up against them and you're talking about it now.
I think mine was more, at first it was pride. I was frustrated of how they were treating me. You know, first because I didn't want to sign a contract, and that I felt like they were using that power against me. This contract is fucked up. I don't have it. I don't want to sign my life to somebody who doesn't give me something else in return. He doesn't have any responsibility. He can decide whenever he wants and cut you, and he's not even obligated to give you fight. So what is the reason of signing this type of contract?
But this is the difference. Francis is one of the most exciting fighters in the world. He has the strongest punch in the world, I believe. And he's the heavyweight champion of the world in MMA. In boxing, the heavyweight champion of the world makes $32 million.
A fight.
This is public information. He's making $600, $700K to fight. So that's where the discrepancy is.
That's a big discrepancy.
And if no one can see that is fucked up.
I'm not a genius, but that's a big discrepancy.
But it's very simple. In boxing, they have to negotiate. It's open. There is two sides.
It's open.
Here,
it's not one company.
Here is a company. There is one company who owns both fighters. You and your opponent.
It's a conflict of interest. I don't even know if that's legal.
So it's just you guys. Okay, you guys are fighting. You're fighting
is
that
that,
guy. You're
is
fighting
that
that
legal?
Guy. It's the same.
Is that legal?
So no more power.